On December 9th, 1965, a fireball screamed through the sky in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. People in Indiana, New York, Virginia, Ohio, and even Canada saw the object. It was allegedly the cause of fires in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Near Elyria, Ohio, a woman identified as Miss Ralph Richards said she saw a volleyball-sized burning object fall into trees that later erupted into flames. A plane crash, rockets, or some type of aerial explosion were put forth to explain the incident, but soon they were all deemed false. The plane crash was especially easy to rule out because there was no plane wreckage to be found. The Federal Aviation Agency said it was probably a meteor. A volunteer firefighter named James Romansky responded to a call about a plane crash in the woods, but soon found that whatever fell from the sky was no plane. He states that there was a, quote, humongous metal object half buried in the ground, about 6, 7, 8 feet around, and it was every bit of 8, 10, 12 foot long. And to me, the object looked exactly like a fresh acorn that you'd pick off a tree. There is no wings, no motors. There is no propellers. There is no identification whatsoever that would identify it as an aircraft that I would know of. There is a bumper on the bottom part of it. On that bumper, there is what I call, it looked to me like the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. It was markings like stars and shapes and figures and circles and lines. Unquote. 2 men then came through the woods to the firemen and told them to leave immediately. About an hour later, supposed military authorities invaded and basically took over a house owned by a Miss Lillian Hayes, which was near the ravine. I can only assume they are using the house as a sort of impromptu base of operations. About the incident, Miss Hayes states, quote, well, the military was coming in and out of my house all evening, and they were making a lot of phone calls and they were standing around in groups talking. I have no idea who they telephoned. No calls turned up on my bill, unquote. Michael Rambasher, who was a security officer for the Air Force, claimed to have guarded the object which arrived on a flatbed truck, and which he believed was not of this world. A witness to the aftermath of the crash, a 19-year-old named Bill Weaver, said, quote, I looked down in there myself. I seen there was something down in there that had bright lights on it, but I couldn't see the object itself. Sometime later, I seen a van-type truck pull up there. There were some men dressed in moon suits, we called them at the time, and they had a light-colored box, roughly 5 foot square. They carried it down into the ravine. UFO researcher Jason Jorjani believes that the Kecksburg object might have been the Die Glocke, or the bell, which was allegedly being worked on by the Germans during World War II. Jorjani states that the bell had anti-gravitic properties, as well as time travel potential. Descriptions of the bell do sound a lot like the acorn shape of the object in Kecksburg. The hieroglyphics our firefighter James Romansky reported could have looked similar to Egyptian writings, but not the same. Jorjani hypothesizes that these writings may have not been Egyptian, but were some sort of other ancient runic inscription, as the Nazis were highly interested in runic mysticism and the occult. Miss Richards said that she saw a volleyball shape, which contradicts the size of the 10 to 11 foot tall bell. So maybe she saw a piece of debris coming off the object, or some type of superheated plasma after effect from traveling through dimensions. Or maybe there is no massive object to begin with. What do you think happened in Kecksburg? Aliens? Interdimensional beings? Nazis? Or something else? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help out the channel. As always, thanks for watching.